With the 2.5 livestream finally wrapped up, we now have our first proper look at what Ye Shunguang actually does in-game. And honestly, she's shaping up to be way more than just another flashy Void Hunter. Hoyoverse gave us a full breakdown of her mechanics, her stance-based gameplay, and how her damage really works. And now that we've seen everything laid out, it's finally possible to judge where she stands, how she's meant to be played, and whether she's actually worth pulling. So in this video, we're going to break down Ye's full kit, explain how her mechanics fit together, and talk about why she might end up being one of the strongest physical damage dealers Zenless Zone Zero has seen so far. Quick shout out to today's sponsor, Loot Bar. If you're looking to top up in Zenless Zone Zero without the usual hassle, Loot Bar makes it super easy and secure with fast delivery and competitive prices so you can grab pulls, battle passes without overpaying. It's available globally, works with multiple payment options, and it's honestly one of the most convenient ways to support your account. If you want to check it out, use the link in my description. It helps support the channel and lets me keep bringing you more in-depth guides like this. Starting with the basics, Ye is an S-rank agent built around the honed edge attack style, and her entire core kit is designed to aggressively scale her base attack and crit stats, which immediately tells you she's meant to be a pure on-field damage dealer. Now, the honed edge attribute itself is where things get interesting, because while it behaves almost identically to physical damage in terms of buffs, enemy resistances, and team synergies, it actually exists as its own separate damage category when it comes to anomaly buildup. That means Ye isn't competing directly with standard physical agents for anomaly thresholds, and she can apply her own buildup independently while still triggering familiar assault. In practice, this makes her damage feel both consistent and reliable, especially in longer fights. And if you're already familiar with agents like Miyabi or Ishwan, Honed Edge will feel immediately familiar in execution, just with more depth and better scaling baked into it. The core of Ye's gameplay is completely centered around her Enlightened State, aka her Ultra Instinct mode. Previously referred to as sword stance, this state dramatically changes how she plays by shifting her from standard combo strings into a sustained damage posture built around pressure and scaling. The moment she enters her Enlightened State, she automatically deploys her Ether Veil Verdict, and this is what truly defines her damage profile. Verdict applies Veil Vulnerability to enemies, which is a powerful debuff that allows Ye's damage to scale off the enemy's stun multiplier at all times, not just during actual stun windows. This means Ye can access stun-level damage without needing to fully break enemies first, giving her much more consistent DPS compared to traditional burst-locked agents. On top of that, Enlightened State grants her enhanced attack patterns, extended hitboxes, and frequent invincibility frames, which not only boosts her damage but also makes her significantly safer to pilot in high-pressure content. Once you understand that everything in her kit exists to either enter, extend, or capitalize on Enlightened State, her entire gameplay loop starts to make perfect sense. To enter Enlightened State, you'll either use her ultimate, intro skill, or hold basic, which rely on her main resource, Sword Will points. You can stack up to 6 of these points through different attacks, with her EX special guaranteeing 1 point and her faction bonus giving her an extra 3 whenever a teammate activates or extends an Ether Veil, which makes team synergy especially important with units like Zhao and Lucia. Once you've built up all 6 points, you can either hold her basic attack or swap her in to enter Enlightened State. From there, you'll mostly be holding down her EX special to deal continuous damage or spamming basics. The key thing to remember is to use her second ultimate right before the stance ends, because it doesn't cost any decibel rating and acts as a massive finishing nuke that also closes out her Ether Veil. For drive discs, the upcoming Whitewater Ballad set is easily her best choice, as it's clearly designed to buff her physical damage and crit rate while she's inside her Ether Veil. Stat-wise, you'll want crit rate or crit damage on the 4th partition, physical damage or penetration on the 5th, and attack on the 6th, which should comfortably push her crit rate past 70% thanks to how much she already gets from her kit. So, overall, Ye is shaping up to be one of the most complete damage dealers we've seen in Zenless Zone Zero so far, with a kit that rewards strong team synergy and raw button mashing. Between her Enlightened State, Veil Vulnerability scaling, and the amount of safety built into her invincibility frames, she offers both high damage and high comfort, which is a combination that's very hard to ignore. Whether you're planning to build around her as your main carry, or you're just deciding if she's worth pulling when her banner drops, hopefully this breakdown gave you a clear picture of how she plays and where her real strengths lie. If it helped, drop a like, subscribe for more Zenless Zone Zero guides and deep dives, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace!